Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. Today we are going to cheat. We're going to use spread charts, both to assess as accurate as possible what could be the reversal point for potential continuation of the bull market. We're also going to use this special type of charts to forecast the next all-time high. I'm going to use the ratio between Bitcoin and NASDAQ, the ratio against the dollar index, and the ratio against the liabilities of the Federal Reserve. It's going to give us incredible insights that I guarantee you that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And if you feel like supporting the channel, there are two things that you can do for us. Number one, watch this video until the very end. And two, do not go anywhere without leaving a comment down below. Those two things are sending a very strong message to the YouTube algorithm that this channel is worth watching by more people. Guys, and thanks so much for all the views. Yesterday, combined between these two videos, we made 1,000 views in a single day. That's really awesome. I do appreciate all the views, likes, and comments. If we continue this path, we are going to blow up this channel and eventually get way beyond 32,000 subscribers. My focus right now is to give you the best content about the markets, to help you navigate them, to make you aware of the most important risks, covering sources of data that are not easily available out there. I strongly encourage you to inform yourself and watch these two particular videos from yesterday. One of them, you're gonna get the full information of what's going on with the S&P, the NASDAQ, the VIX, everything related to the source of the crash. All my concerns when it comes to a potential recession and further downside in the indexes, which is extremely crucial for everybody, not just for people trading the stocks, but for people trading crypto as well. Also watch the one for BTC, particularly at the end of the video. There's a bunch of signals that I do not want you to miss. And yes, in yesterday's video, I gave an entry on Bitcoin. I published all the steps on Twitter, so I hope you're managing to be in profit with that swing trade. A video with an update is going to come up later on today. In today's video, I want to focus on spread charts. This is going to be part of our strategy going forward for the long term when it comes to trading Bitcoin. I think this is a really powerful tool just because it's been so accurate in the past. For the people that have never heard about spread charts, the most basic definition of a spread chart is that it is a comparison between a financial instrument such as stock and an additional variable such as another financial instrument or a numerical value. For example, here we are dividing the value of the price of Bitcoin by the value of the NASDAQ. That doesn't end there. You could do anything with this. You could then multiply this value by the S&P and then divide it again by the Nikkei and then add the gold. You can come up with really crazy formulas in here, and you have all these operands. You can divide, you can multiply, you can use exponent. The first time I did the spread chart of Bitcoin divided by the NASDAQ, something really flashed in my eyes, which was this particular slope. I see it all the way thanks to all these bearish flags that are being formed, but it seems like everything is going in this direction in this chart. For example, we have in July a correction that pushed the price into this level. Interestingly, if you put the line with that slope, the next crash reaches precisely that level. The amount of coincidence is just unbelievable. For example, on FTX crash, you see this line continuing and the next bounce is on that level. Then you see resistance in here and you got a bounce from a new level that then is visited the month after and then again and again. Of course, there are exceptions. That makes the NASDAQ spread a really interesting chart. At the same time, we see that multiple times we have this second slope, which is a descending one, that was containing the price during the summer. Eventually, we see a breakout above it, a retest, and then immediately after, an impulsive move that almost doesn't stop until it gets to all-time high. So what if the price at the end of the summer was to do something like this, breaking out from around here and then doing another impulsive move to the top of the range? That will take us somewhere here. What I'm gonna do to understand how high we could go, we can take two paths. We can take the high of the bull flag and project it from here since this is giving us a value of 5.14, that doesn't translate automatically into a Bitcoin price. So what I can do is do a little bit more of cheating and take just the flat chart of Bitcoin and use the same flag in here and push it from the closing price from there. And that takes us roughly to 87. And if we do the same thing that we are doing here from the NASDAQ, which more or less to start from halfway through this drop, we can put the flag breaking from half the way the drop as well. And that takes us to 92, 93K. That is just one approach. As you can see, I have another kind of an MA showing in here, pointed to 4.27. I'm going to explain now why that could also be the next all-time high. In the previous bull market, we had a top at a level of RSI 90 in the spread. Then we had this correction that took us to a level 39, and I'm going to leave a horizontal line right there at the very bottom of that summer correction. Right after that, we have an impulsive move to an RSI of roughly 64, 65. I'm going to put another horizontal line in here, and that was the dead cat bounce known by everybody that was in this bull market, where we actually made it to 69, which was higher than this in the flat chart, but in the spread chart, this is a lower high, just like it is a lower high in the RSI of the spread. How are we going to use these two horizontal lines? Number one, to speculate that the crash that we have on the 1st of July printed this low, and that crash that we are having right now is a higher low, and that there is a chance that this same 39 that we experienced in the summer of 2021 could be the bottom of the RSI, and that we are due for a breakout from this trendline resistance. If we were to see this breakout in here and we had a similar move to an RSI of 65, just like we did in here right after the summer into October rally, and we again repeat that move to 65, that 65 today coincides with 437, which is very difficult right now to say what is going to be the price of Bitcoin at that point, because this depends both on the price of Bitcoin and the NASDAQ. Well, we have this one that corresponds with around 65K in the price, this one that is lower but corresponds with 69, and then this that is even lower and it corresponds with almost 74K. Does it make sense to say it's an all-time high? Well, relative to this, yes, it is an all-time high because it's higher than 74. But it's lower than 69 and it's lower than 65 too. So I guess what we need to do in here is to monitor the price. Once it gets to this RSI in this chart, we need to be cautious because that could be a strong level of resistance. Let's move on to the next spread charts that I have. The one that we're looking at now is divided by the dollar index. It shouldn't be a surprise to you that the dollar index has an influence on what's going on with the Bitcoin price. In fact, BTC is already divided by the dollar. So you may be wondering, why are you dividing by the DXY? And yes, I had the same question, but after looking at the ratio and seeing some patterns that are consistently being respected, then I decide to also pay attention at this as an additional source of valid information. We broke out right after testing that 48 order block, incredibly important level, just as important or even more important than the 30 that was the line in the sand between bull and bear market in the past cycle. Nowadays, the 48 took over to become the line in the sand. So what are we seeing right now? We are seeing the price coming to test that level as a support right after testing it as a resistance and breaking above it. This is a bull flag and is currently bouncing off that level. What else can we see? We can see that the low of the summer is at an RSI of 42 roughly. It was already support on September 2023. We are coming to test 42, and if we were to repeat a dead cat bounce like we did in COVID and get to a level of 67, in this chart, interestingly, we get to 808, which is way above the current all-time high and the previous two all-time highs, 69 and 65. So according to the dollar index, we seem to be having a bullish bounce from this level of support. And in theory, if this continues, we should be heading to the top of the megaphone and then continue to 816. If we compare this and we place it from the bottom of the bull flag, then we get precisely to that. So let's go once again to the flat chart target from the bottom. That takes us roughly to 82. The dollar index says that the next all-time high is 82K. Whether that's going to be the all-time high or not, be aware that we might go beyond that, because nothing is guaranteeing that we are going to have the same behavior as the previous bull market. That one was very particular, was the first bull market that we didn't have a blow of top. In fact, in this particular market, we might get a blow of top. And if that's the case, that level of 811 might be too humble and we might continue even further. In this chart, we are going to divide BTC by RESBAL. This is the liabilities and capital's other factors draining reserve balances. I see it as what is the Fed doing with their balance sheet? Are they buying? Are they selling? What is their stance in the market as Bitcoin is moving? Very important chart to look at. Let's look straight away into the bottom of the summer low in 2021. Let's look at what's going in here. You can see that there is a liquidity sweep in here that pushes back into the resistance, and now it seems to be holding at 43, which is precisely where we reverted in the previous bull market in the summer. And if we were to get to this top, the dead cat bounce, that takes us to 69. 69 is located above all the previous all-time highs. Notice as well how the order block coincides in here. So again, another chart that is pointing towards a bounce from here. In this case, we get slightly higher, so we could say that this one is playing out as if the flag was to break out from half the way the drop that we just had. If we did that in the flat chart, we get roughly 91, 92K. And last but not least, we're gonna cover the BTC against the volatility index, the fear and greed from the general markets. And this chart is really blowing out my brain. It's completely messed up in terms of the price action, but not because of that. It's not giving any hints on bouncing points, on very interesting areas to look at. Number one, the bottom of the 2017 bull market was at this level and coincides with the bottom of the bear market that we exit from in 2022. Although the FTX went slightly lower, at that point we built the foundation with a bullish divergence that it made it very clear that we were going to start exploding to the upside. You can place this resistance in there, and after you get the retest, you can even time all the tops if you do some sort of curve like this. So what's going on right now? If we go to the bottom of the COVID in this particular spread chart, you're going to see that the RSI at the bottom of the COVID is almost at the same level, which is around 32, 31. Today, when it comes to Bitcoin versus the dollar index, there's no difference between this crash and the crash that happened in COVID. And to your eyes, probably you're thinking that this crash in here is not very pronounced, but in the spread, it shows 90.2% drawdown at that point in time. And the drawdown that we see today in this chart is barely 85.5%. So that's really crazy, because spread charts can give you the illusion that something is larger, but in fact, it is not. What is really interesting right now is that this formation that I'm seeing here is extremely bullish. We are getting to the bottom of the range just by comparing it with the previous crashes in the market, and COVID, that was one of the biggest ones. It took the price from 20K to 4K. So I think from here, we should be expecting to see some bottoming formation and a potential breakout from this trend line. So if we were to break out from here and hit the dead cat bounce point that we had at the top of 2021 market, that will take us to an RSI of 63. That could take us to a ratio of 7.3K, which is just unbelievably high. For that, the price will have to do something like this, reach all the way to there, which is a V recovery, by the way. If we do that, we need to connect this point on 19th of June with either April or May 2024. And let's connect it, and that is giving us the highest forecast that we got from all the other models. This is the only spread chart that is giving a next all-time high of over 100K. In fact, it reaches 112K. Guys, I'm gonna leave a link to all these charts, including all the drawings that we made today. You're gonna be able to find them if you join my Discord server and you go to the section strategies. I'm gonna create a special post for you that is called Bitcoin spread charts. There will be links to copy them one by one. I hope you enjoy using them as well. Guys, I'm hosting a position airdrop on Bybit for $500. All you need to do is trade with $100, use the link in the description with the instructions, and then you get additional $500 to trade for free. There's also a referral link for opening a new account on Bybit that gives you up to 30,000 in rewards. In my Discord server, there's a section called Bybit Perks that is going to allow you to use that new Bybit account using my referral to claim 70% of all Trading Parrot subscriptions. If you already have a Bybit account, don't worry, because you can transfer to my referral link using the instructions I left you on Discord. Consider as well getting a Palau Residence digital card. I left you a discount for that in a video with instructions. You get the card in 1 week and you can trade on Bybit from pretty much everywhere in the world. What can you do with a TTP subscription? Here's a summary. You can get a TTP subscription for free and get the basic indicators, or you can do a trial of Observer. That's going to give you tons of Pine scripts, more advanced ones, including Absolute No. You get access to charts, pair selection for bot trading. If you go for VIP, you get access to all the indicators. And with Gold, you maximize all the allowances when it comes to all the services that we give. The VIP call gives you a call with me that you can use for anything. In the past, I have had hundreds of people taking the VIP calls. You get 1 call per month, and during that hour, we can discuss your trading bot setups. We can discuss how to do better manual trading. Anything that I cover in my videos can be discussed. In fact, I still have some people in the VIP call from the previous bull market. That means that they have been for 3 years having 1 call per month. One of them told me that I changed his life so much that even though he won't necessarily always take the call, he will pay for a lifetime for the VIP call. People like this really get me motivated to continue learning and becoming better so I can help more people as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.